James and I just saw Death of a Unicorn. The gist, it was exactly what I thought it was going to be.
The gist you need. The trailer was pretty clear.
Yeah, the tone, it was just fun.
Very funny. The acting was all very, very good.
You know what? Yes, and I say this with as being one of the biggest Paul Rudd fans because I do adore him.
Choose your words very carefully.
I want so badly for him to truly reveal his vulnerability to us as a performer and as a person. And there was a lot of moments in this, even though that it's impossible not to like Paul Rudd, that like it just wasn't there with what he was saying and how and what was required for him connecting with his daughter. And Jenny Ortega is like such an extraordinary actress for comedy and drama. I just noticed it. Even though I love him, I'm just like, oh, come on, Paul. Like, you know, as we've talked about before, like there's that, like, if you're an extraordinary actor, you can do comedy and drama. But if you're like a pretty, you know, a decent actor, an okay actor, you can usually just do like comedy really well, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it was really, really well cast. There was so many, like, there was like very specific classic 1995 Jurassic Park references, which was so fun, but also just like a lot of like classic monster movie. But I liked the adventure and all that stuff. And, anything else about the gist?
It was very good. It was just very silly and, yeah.
My only very specific notes were the thing about Paul Rudd. I really wanted the friggin' unicorns to be live action puppets. And I feel like if they had done that, there was just like, it like...
I'm sure they didn't want to break the bank on...
I know they didn't want to break the bank.
Obviously, they had some pretty major stars.
I'm not saying they should have done the entire thing that way.
The CGI was... yeah, the CGI was about as good as I might have expected it to be for what was probably a reasonably low-budget film.
I guess what I think is I think they could have had one main animatronic puppet that they used, and they could have tried to hide it a little bit more, how much they showed it, similar to like Jaws, how it just like didn't work.
Yeah.
And they could have like filled it in with the CGI. So that little bit... there was a couple moments of that like really took me out of it. And I didn't think they needed the whole like her listen. Oh wait, spoiler alert. Sorry, I just realized I might be. Okay. No, I didn't spoil because, you know, people know that you're going to see the unicorn. I mean, you assume from you. Okay. If the title is Death of a Unicorn, you know that a unicorn is going to die, and you know that, trigger warning, there's magical animal violence in this film. The thing with her watching the thing about the tapestries, that was like, and let me tell you, we're going to foreshadow, but really on the nose. Da-da-da. You know what I mean? Like
one of Carly's pet peeves.
Foreshadowing?
No, just when it's too blunt.
Really on the horn?
Hey-o.
So yeah, I liked I thought the script was great. I thought the acting was really, really good, aside from Paul Rudd not really letting us in. But that was like, yeah, those were the main things that stood out to me. Was there anything that stood out to you that was like, I was like, ugh?
No, I mean, yeah.
I was like,
just, as far as a kind of a goofy, campy monster movie, Will Poulter was really, really fabulous. I'm glad that
I like that he was smarter the more drugs that he did. That was the best. That was great.
He, as an actor, doesn't shy away from roles that really take advantage of kind of his very specific look.
Yeah, because he knows he looks like a douche.
He's always
he knows his essence.
He's always teased that he kind of has this like kind of bitchy like looking kind of face and this kind of essence, and I think he knows that. Yeah, Paul Rudd's is kind of a natural when it comes to these kind of like dorky characters. Jenna Ortega just really, just being spectacular. Yeah, everyone's just, really, really...
Anthony Carrigan was so funny.
Yeah, he was really
He's
funny.
just so
They were all
good.
really, really committed to the characters they were playing.
I loved What's-Her-Face, too, from Glow, that got to be in it. I really liked that there was just a lot, like, even the smaller roles. But I feel like I'm just like, now I'm like reflecting. Like I said, I really enjoyed it, but like if those were like kind of the big nitpicky things, was the CGI, the lack of Paul Rudd's true vulnerability, and that there were obviously, it was very clear the point that happened naturally. It was very clear the point of it, even if it was on point, on the nose, on the horn.
I think Carly been snorting some unicorn horn tonight.
I've had caffeine tonight. And I had caffeine this morning.
That's what it is.
No wonder. But yeah, I guess when I said I enjoyed it, but I'm like looking for myself. There was nothing that wasn't predictable. I do wish that there had been a few more surprises. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like there was nothing that happened that I was like, that's always like really fun when you're seeing a movie and you don't actually know what's going to happen, but sometimes not in like a stressful way, in a like an anticipating kind of way. So it would have been nice to have had like maybe kind of like one twist or turn in there. Like I said, I enjoyed it. But I'm just like looking for myself of that,
Do you think the mom character got a credit even just for being in photos?
I mean, yeah, James. It's her likeness. It's a feature film. We didn't stay for the whole credits, but I'm sure.
That was a famous actress too. It's Jenna Ortega's actual mom.
Okie dokie, bye.